So hauka, miyutamawa, mio mio. Here today to share a treat with you today. We have what you call in the English term California peony, P-E-O-N-Y. But in Kumeyaay Ipai'a language, it's called Hemal. And this is a wild green that comes out this time of the year, which is January, February. And right now we got some really fresh little pieces that are really tender, you know. And so you pick these around, like I say, around January, February, right? But the end of February, it'll get a little bulb on there and a flower, and it turns into seed. So when it gets a little bulb, it's a little rougher to eat. So you want to get it before it does that. So first of all, like always, when we go out and gather, we always offer a prayer, some tobacco, and ask permission to take the life of this plant and to prepare it for nutrition, for food. So I did that before I harvested it, and I got just a little bit here just to show. And what we want to do is like you want to go through your greens, because sometimes you come up with little sticks. There might be some grass in there. You can throw that away, and then a lot of times too, when you pick it, you might pick it to where it comes out to where maybe some dirt at the end with the root. So you want to take it and cut the ends off. And then we're going to, after you do this, you just check them. Make sure there's no grass or weeds or anything else in there. So I'm going to go through this real quick. There's one right there. Had some, you see, had some dirt on the end right there, so you don't want that. And if you want to have because this is going to boil down to nothing. So the stalk's going to be nothing. So you can have as much stalk as you want in there. So I'm going to do this real quick. This is an indigenous food. It was introduced to me by my grandmother a long time ago. And my family has been eating it ever since I can remember. And when we cook it, actually, like right now, it does have kind of like a little kind of different smell to it. But when you cook it, that aroma will intensify a little bit. And but for us that are used to doing it, we love that smell, you know. So we can go ahead and prepare this stuff here. Get ready to wash it, then we'll start boiling it. When I looked up the English terminology for this, it didn't say nothing about eating it. So this is kind of a hidden native treasure, indigenous treasure. Some folks know about it, some don't. So I'm here to share that with you. And we're going to have pictures of it so you can see what it looks like when it's growing. So maybe one day you get out there and be able to identify it and be able to prepare it yourself. So while harvesting it, where I got this, it was way up underneath the like scrub oaks and kind of the brush area. So I had to crawl around and get this stuff. And sometimes it grows right in the open, but I didn't see none in the open, you know. So, and you also got to be careful about where you're picking it. I ran into a batch of Hemal growing, but there was a bunch of poison oak growing around it. So you don't want to get into that. You don't want to touch that. You don't want to eat that. Just, you know, I'm not sure what would happen if you did, but I'm sure it wouldn't be good. When we harvest, you know, we don't clear the whole area out. We'll pick some here. We'll pick some over here and pick some over there and leave some there, you know, so we don't take all of it. So I had to work a little bit harder in locating this. But like I said, this stuff right here is really fresh. It's small. So it's still growing. It'll still be growing out there right now. Real fresh stuff right there. Look at that. It's tender. Good stuff. All right. That's it for that. So now we're going to go over to the sink and we're going to wash this. Everything you pick, you want to make sure you wash it really good. There's a lot of wildlife out there running around. I don't know. They've been running on top of this. So it was a joy to go out there and harvest it, because right now there's a lot of grass that's out right now, a lot of green grass. Kind of reminds me of my childhood when I used to go out there and play in the mountains. And this grows throughout the county of San Diego. It's from the mountains down to Rincon, Palma, out towards Verona, out that way. It grows everywhere, you know. So we're just washing this. Drain the water. And I kind of pre-cleaned it as I was picking it too. So now we'll go ahead and put it in the hot water I've got boiling over here. And this amount right here is going to boil down to probably like a bowl. It boils down to nothing once you start cooking it. With the spatula and kind of push it down. So you can let this boil. So we're going to put a lid on it and let it cook for about 15 minutes. And then we'll strain it and wash it, because the Hemal, it's got like a bitter taste. So we're gonna wash it, leach it, and pour more water and boil it again until the bitterness is gone, and then it'll be ready to eat. You notice when you're cooking this, the smell has a distinct smell to it. And when I used to smell that in the household when I was a kid, I'd get really excited. It's like, man, I'm gonna have some Hemal, you know. And my family used to make it, used to fry it up with some beans, regular beans, home cooked beans, fry it up like that, and with some homemade fresh tortilla rolls. Oh, that was the best. Okay, so we're gonna check and see how we're doing here as far as it boiling down. See what this tastes like. See how bitter it is right now. Oh my God, it's good. It's hardly bitter at all. So the fresher you pick it when it's younger, the more tender, the less bitter it's going to be. So the older it gets, the more bitter it's going to be. So let that go to waste. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it over here and we're going to wash it, strain it, or leach it. So I'm just going to wash it with some warm water. It'll also get rid of more of that, any bitter taste in there. So after you wash it, you can kind of squeeze it, squeeze all the extra water out. And if you're going to save it, you could put it in the freezer, so you squeeze all the excess water out, so you don't have so much ice when you have it in the freezer. You know, sometimes you get that freezer burn with the ice. But this also is taking out the rest of the bitterness. This is what the spinach looks like right here. Good to go. So you can eat it like this. You know, you can cut it up, fry it. Cut it up and fry it with a little bit of oil, a little olive oil, and some beans, maybe some onions, throw some eggs in there. Get creative, you know. And so this is your spinach, and really good stuff. So, and it grows, like I said, during January, February, and best time to get is like when it's really small, young. It's young and tender, less bitter. The more older it gets, the longer you have to cook it, the more you have to rinse it. But this batch right here turned out pretty good. So I'm going to save it, probably cut it up and have it for breakfast tomorrow. Thank you.